Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and I'm just going to draw a single line, and we're going to look at this trend line over a longer period of time. I don't generally put too much credence into them, but this is more just like a fun video. So I hope you guys enjoy the content. Please subscribe to the channel. Also check out the Telegram channel in the description below if you want access to a growing community. So the general idea here, right, is in traditional, traditional TA, people will, typically draw these types of trend lines, right, to show where the support is, where, where resistance lines are. Maybe do something like this and say that we're in this, within this range right here, bouncing around. But then I thought, you know what, we've come this far, might as well keep on going. So let's extend this out. Let's continue this trend line out for a much longer period of time to see kind of where it goes. Where does it take us? If we continue to move it out, you can see we're currently right at it. We had a little bit of a support over here, a support over here. We came down to it right here. We've come this far. Might as well keep on going. This was this is when we came back up to it during our capitulation back in March. So we fell below it, came back up to it again right here. And this was ultimately, I feel like, the biggest capitulation of the market cycle, rather than the one that actually went lower earlier on. But then we drew this far. I said, we might as well keep on going. Let's continue to extend this out. And it seems to continue to be a fairly decent line, right? I mean, you can see here we also briefly touched it before moving back up, back in February of 2019. But then I said, we've come this far, we might as well keep on going. Let's go back even further. And I'm just trying to keep it within that yellow circle that I just drew, so that we have an idea of how I can continue this trend line and have everything before it also line up. So then we continue it. We keep it within that circle all the way over here. And we had another brief period, right, where we went right up to the top of it. And then we had periods where we came above it and then moved sideways for a little while before breaking back below. But I said we've come this far, we might as well keep on going. So let's keep extending it, and noting that we want to keep it within this yellow circle so that we're not changing the line too much as we continue to go on. So right through the middle of the circle. And then this takes us back to 2011, which is generally the general area where Bitcoin peaked at. So then when you look back at the trend line, starting in say June of 2011, you see that it continues on. We had we came back down to it right here, came back down to it right here, almost came back down to it right there. We continued on. And then here we were around the trend line. Here we came below it. So when we came below it, tends to be a pretty good accumulation phase. Also, remember, this is on a logarithmic scale, so that is a key piece of information you need to be cognizant of. And then we look back and we see, okay, well, we came back down to this trend line right here. Whoops, we came back down to it right here at this very bottom point right here in December of 2018, back down to it February 2019, back up. Let's zoom back in. So we're looking at the red line, remember. Resistance here, we came back up to it and moved sideways for a bit, back above it, back down to the trend line, and then zooming all the way back in, some support area here, back down to it again, back up, and then we have this trend line, which I just drew. So again, I don't put a ton of importance on just drawing too many lines. Even though you might argue that these are obviously, I put some importance on these lines, but not in the sense that price has to exactly respect them, but just drawing from prior local all-time high to where I project the next peak to be within our trusty regression band, right? So continuing on up. So I just thought this was an interesting line. if we were to extend it, or sorry, that's the wrong one, but we can actually go ahead and get rid of that one. If we were to extend this line and maintain it between those yellow circles, it looks like it would get up to the prior all-time high in September of 2021, which, by the way, is near the fourth quarter of 2021, which is the earliest I could reasonably see Bitcoin getting to a sustainable 20K. But again, it's always possible that we stay above it for a while and then come back below it. We've been below it before, right? We were below it in March. We actually did not go below it earlier in the year in 2018. I've often said that this capitulation meant more than this one back over here, because this one actually took us to the lower part of the regression band, while this one just took us to the middle part of the regression band. And you can see during the last cycle, we spent a lot of time in the lower half of the regression band as well. So again, we look forward and say, you know what, this has been a trend line that seems to show up time and time again. And I just started drawing it, and I said, you know what, we might as well keep on going and see where it takes us. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you don't take it too seriously. But if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.